Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Monday and it's time for a new video. So, last week I shared with you guys that I took a personality test, and I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a breakdown of what my results were. I am a INTJ, and so I'm going to read here for you basically what that means. It means that I'm introverted, I'm energized by being alone, and that is absolutely true. If you ever find me in a party setting, pretty much right after I have, I eat, I'm ready to go home. And there's been multiple times where both me and my wife have gone somewhere with the kids, mainly to like her dad's house, and we go in separate cars. I never really thought of it, like why I wanted to leave, but it says that my personality type is drained by being around a bunch of people. So I guess that's my excuse. The next thing is intuitive. So we like to focus on ideas and concepts. Next is thinking. So we make decisions based on logic, which for me, I don't know why you would make a decision based on anything else, but that is part of my personality type. And so the best way I could describe it is basically like being a computer where there's not a lot of feelings involved. I mean, we do have feelings and we do love people. However, when it comes to making a decision, it's pretty much straightforward. I can just cut through all of the fluff and just look at the issue there is and start working on it immediately. The next thing is judging, which it says preferred planned and organized. So I wouldn't say that I'm extremely organized, but when I took this personality test, judging was like high on the list. So what I guess for me it means is that I just like things to go in a certain order, and if they don't, then I'm not too happy about it, which that I could totally agree with. So here are some of the things. We are competitive, and extremely competitive, which can be difficult to deal with. Now, the two things I could think of, like off the top of my head, one is bowling with my wife. We would go bowling, and every time I lost, I was like bent. So I ended up going bowling with a couple of friends a few times a week, and I got much better at it, and then I stopped losing. So what they said was that my type likes to be the best they can at what they do. So was it that I just wanted to beat my wife, or was it that I wanted to be a better bowler? I would have to say it was probably both. And then the second thing I could think of was, stepping on stage for bodybuilding. With that, to be honest with you, I can tell you 1000% it wasn't about winning. For me, it was getting myself into the best shape I've ever been in and just presenting the best me there, which I did. So I totally agree with that. The next thing is we are thinkers, not feelers. So, meaning that we use thinking for all of our decisions. We do a lot of research on things that we want to look into. We are not compulsive. We do not just go out and purchase something. I will spend literally hours researching something before I decide to get it, and there's other people who don't, so and that's okay. So for me, if that's the way you are, that should be just fine, but it's very difficult for me to understand how somebody could do that. We are very confident and come off as arrogant, which I totally get. But we're very confident because we spend a lot of time studying different things. So if I am going to look up how to code, or I'm going to look up the best way to lift, anything that I do, I want to be the best at it. And that could be a problem for others because they just want to do something and enjoy it. And for me, it has to be, I hate to say perfect, but that is part of the personality type. Um, as far as being a thinker and not a feeler, I get that all the time, and it's kind of odd. Once you take a personality test and you learn a lot more about the way you think, you realize that when people tell you, like a good friend of mine, Joy, she would tell me, "You're like Spock, and you have no feeling," and so I get that now. It's just it's not that we don't have feeling. It's that feeling is the secondary function, not the primary. And that can come much later. So they'll say if something happens to someone with this personality type, that they think through the situation all the way through, and then much later, the emotional part happens. And I agree with that. So, anyway, I spent a lot of time researching this, as you can tell, because it's part of my personality type, and I really want to be the best that I can. So, I did research my wife's personality type and put them together and looked up how they fare together. And so it turns out that I could be a major pain for my wife's personality type because I am very difficult, which now I totally get. But if I could explain, and not to say that I shouldn't be sorry, and I did apologize to my wife for being so difficult, even though it's part of my personality. But after reading it, I was like, wow, this could be very difficult for someone to deal with. It's like the golden rule. So the golden rule says treat people the way, I'm sorry, the golden rule says treat people the way you want to be treated. And then the platinum rule says treat people the way they want to be treated. And so we should all live by the platinum rule. But I live by, or I was by, the golden rule. So if, for example, me and my wife had a discussion about something, I would research it right away because I need to know the right answer. And it's so difficult for me to have a conversation with somebody and they have their opinion and I have my opinion, which might be stated on a bunch of facts. And it's very difficult for me to let them just have their opinion. Because for me, I hate being wrong. So it can come off as I'm pushing my opinion on you, which I'm sorry if I do that. But it is who I am, and know that I've thought long and hard about the situation. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave a link below so you can go ahead and take the survey for yourself, and hopefully you'll find some stuff out about yourself. There's things that I'd like to work on, and this definitely helped me out. All right, guys, well, I hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.